Have you ever been stuck in your own head? Like really stuck, replaying some moment, some conversation, or some mistake on loop? You're brushing your teeth, and it hits you. You're trying to sleep, and your brain decides it's the perfect time to relive that one awkward thing you said 3 weeks ago. You don't want to think about it, but it just won't stop. It's like your thoughts are holding you hostage, and the worst part? You don't even know how to fight back. If you've been there, if you're there right now, I need you to know this isn't just overthinking. This has a name. It's called mental rumination, and it's one of the most exhausting battles your mind can fight. But here's the truth no one talks about. Most people don't even realize they're stuck in it. Because rumination wears the mask of being responsible, being thoughtful, or trying to figure it all out. But in reality, it's a loop. A quiet, corrosive loop that keeps you locked in your own pain, long after the moment has passed. In this video, we're not just going to break it down. We're going to get underneath it, why it happens, what it's really costing you, and how to finally break free. So, what is rumination, really? Imagine this. You take a thought, maybe something painful or embarrassing, and you chew on it, over and over. You try to put it down, but a few minutes later, it's back. You think you've processed it, but nothing feels clearer. You just feel heavier. That's rumination. It's like your brain is trying to solve something emotional using logic, but the more you think about it, the worse you feel. And the truth is, it never gives you answers. It just drags you deeper into self-blame, over-analysis, and mental exhaustion. And here's the kicker. Your brain doesn't even realize it's doing damage. It thinks it's helping. It thinks, maybe if I replay this one more time, I'll understand it better. But what it's really doing is digging the same hole deeper. That's the trap. So, why does this happen? Why does your brain hold on to stuff that hurts long after it's over? The uncomfortable answer? Because part of you believes that if you just think hard enough, maybe you'll fix it. Maybe you'll figure out the exact moment you messed up. Maybe you'll finally make sense of why they said that. Maybe you'll gain control by rethinking the uncontrollable. And your brain? It eats that up. It starts thinking, this is a good strategy. Oh, you're sad? Let's replay that breakup. You're anxious? Let's imagine 10 future disasters and stress about all of them now. It becomes habit, a mental muscle memory. Your brain learns to ruminate, to cope, even though it's silently burning you out. There's even a science to this. There's a part of your brain called the default mode network. It activates when you're not doing anything, like when you're daydreaming or lying in bed. For most people, this mode helps with creativity, self-reflection, even imagination. But for someone stuck in rumination, it turns into a trap. The parts of your brain that think about you start overfiring, and they hook up with the parts that store emotion and memory. It's like your mind becomes a broken playlist, and every track is a moment you regret, a version of you that you hate, or a future you're terrified of. And you can't switch it off. That's why it feels so real, so physical. Because it is. It changes your brain. It hijacks your nervous system. It floods your body with stress chemicals like cortisol. And suddenly, it's not just a thought anymore. It's insomnia. It's stomach pain. It's muscle tension. It's anxiety that doesn't go away. It's being exhausted all the time and having no idea why. And worst of all, rumination kills your ability to solve anything. Because you're not focused on what could help. You're stuck obsessing over what went wrong. So how do you break the loop? Let's start with something simple, but powerful. Pay attention. Not in the school teacher sense. I mean, really notice what's happening in your head when the loop starts. Most people don't. Rumination feels like background noise, like static you just live with. But if you slow down and zoom in, you'll see patterns. Maybe it always hits you when you're alone. Maybe it shows up after scrolling Instagram and seeing someone else succeed. Maybe it's right before bed, when the world gets quiet and your mind gets loud. You don't need to analyze it. Just observe it. Like you're watching someone else's life. Every time I feel not good enough, I think about that fight I had 6 months ago. That awareness, even if it feels small, is the first crack in the loop. Because once you can see a pattern, you're no longer controlled by it. You're witnessing it. And that changes everything. Solution 2. Schedule worry time. This one might sound weird, but trust me, it works. Give your anxiety a time slot. Seriously. Pick a 15-minute window. Same time, same place. Every day. That's your worry time. During that time, go crazy. Write out your fears. Rant to yourself. Think about all the what-ifs. Let it all out. But here's the rule. Outside of that time, you don't engage with it. You catch a thought at 2 p.m., you nod and say, "I'll deal with you at 5:30. It sounds ridiculous, but it works because it teaches your brain you're in control. Not your anxiety, not your loops. You're not suppressing the thoughts. You're containing them. You're giving them space without letting them invade your entire day. That's power. Solution 3. Practice active problem solving. Here's a hard truth. Rumination feels like problem solving, but it's not. It's emotional paralysis disguised as logic. So what do you do instead? Move. Not physically, yet, but mentally. Take the thing you're stuck on and treat it like a puzzle, not a crisis. Ask, what's one small thing I can do about this? Not to fix everything, not to win the day. Just one thing. Because the moment you stop spinning and start acting even in the smallest way, your brain shifts from helpless to capable. You go from victim to agent. And that tiny shift in posture can quiet the noise faster than hours of looping thoughts ever could. Solution number 4. Use purposeful distraction. Sometimes your brain just won't listen. It's like trying to talk reason to a storm. That's when you don't argue with it. You redirect it. Not with mindless scrolling or numbing. That's not distraction. That's escape. I'm talking about purposeful distraction. Things that demand your full attention. Try something that absorbs you completely. Not for dopamine, for presence. Play something. Build something. Learn something. Move your body. Go outside. Touch cold water. Chop vegetables. It doesn't have to be profound. It just has to remind your brain that you exist outside your thoughts. One study showed people who took a 90-minute walk in nature had less rumination and calmer brain activity. Not because the forest fixed them, because the present moment pulled them out of the past. Sometimes the most healing thing isn't figuring it out. It's giving your mind a break from trying. Solution 5. Ground yourself with mindfulness. Here's the quiet truth. Rumination lives in the past. Anxiety lives in the future. But peace? It only lives right now. Mindfulness isn't about sitting cross-legged or chanting mantras. It's about anchoring yourself in the only real moment, this one. Next time your thoughts start spiraling, pause. And do this. 5 things you can see. 4 things you can feel. 3 things you can hear. 2 things you can smell. 1 thing you can taste. It's simple, but it's a pattern interrupt. It snaps your awareness out of your head and back into your body. The more you practice this, the less power your thoughts have over you. Because you start realizing you're not your thoughts. You're the one watching them. Solution 6. Let it out through writing. There are some thoughts that just won't leave until you give them a place to go. That's what writing is. Not content, not journaling with quotes and cute prompts. Just raw, unfiltered expression. No filter, no spell check, no audience. Dump it. All of it. The anger, the shame, the confusion. Get it out of your mind and into form. Because when it's swirling in your head, it feels infinite. But when it's on paper, you can see it. You can understand it. You can let go of it. Even if you never read it again. Even if you tear it up after. There's something deeply freeing about turning thought into shape. You stop carrying the weight. The page does. Look, I'm not here to give you a morning routine or some perfect formula. You've probably tried all of that. I'm here to tell you that your brain isn't broken. It just got stuck on survival, on control, on what if. And now it's tired. You don't have to fight it. You don't have to fix it in a day. You just have to interrupt the pattern, one moment at a time. Because healing doesn't feel like fireworks. It feels like less noise, more stillness, more space to breathe without guilt. So if your mind feels heavy, I want you to know, you're not alone in this. You're not weak for struggling, and you're not doomed to repeat the loop forever. You're already breaking it, just by noticing it. Now take one tool from this video, just one, and try it today. Not perfectly, just honestly. And if this hit home for you, stay close. Because you're not the only one who thinks this way. You've just been thinking it alone. Until now.